Really excited to get home and make this video because I feel like a lot of us can relate to feeling stuck in our life, feeling stagnant, like nothing is working out, nothing is happening. It's like you have all of these plans and all of these goals, but you feel like every time you go towards it, or anytime you start it, or you start putting anything in motion, something happens that just makes you feel stuck, or you jump in and you self-sabotage, or you quit too early, or something happens that just makes you remain in the same spot that you are in. And most of the time we have these moments. I know I have these moments where I always tell myself, especially on my birthday, it always comes so heavy. Like I get a really big case of the birthday blues because every year I want to continuously improve myself. Every year I want to be better. Every year I want to be a different version of myself, a more new and improved version. Maybe it is I want to be fitter. Maybe I want to grow my hair. Maybe I want to eat healthier. Maybe I want to learn another language. Maybe I want to start a new side hustle, or start a new business, or just be more creative in that case. And there's always something that happens because life is ongoing and life is ever changing, to the point that you need to get really good at just rolling with the punches and just going with the flow. And sometimes we just don't have it in us to be able to do that. But then those checkpoints come around where you see a friend opening a business, or you start a new job, or you get into a new relationship, or your birthday comes around, and then it causes you to sit down and look at the story that is your life, look at the script that is your life, and you go back through your goals. Sometimes I'm a really big journal person, so I always end up writing my goals out. Maybe I have 3 big goals, or maybe I have 25 goals, or sometimes I push myself and I write 100 goals. I have tried to write 300 goals at one time, and I just found that I did not have that many goals. I was like probably one of the most difficult journaling days I had, when I just spent a day trying to find 300 goals. But I digress. Sometimes when it is I'm going back through my journals, I would find these goals that I listed out, and maybe I would have listed these goals probably 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago, and sometimes these goals will state in 6 months I want to be here, or I am so happy and grateful that 6 months have passed since I've written this down, and I have achieved XYZ, and I have achieved this, I have achieved that. And I'm not talking about things that are dependent on external validation or external happenstance in order for you to achieve your goals. I'm talking about things that require your own hard work and your dedication to your craft, to that plan, in order to see it go through. And it hurts that much more when it is you go back through your goals and you see all of the things that you wanted to do, and you know in your heart of hearts that you started, but you just did not see it through. You started and you went strong for 3 days, and you just automatically stopped, and there was no real reason as to why you stopped. You just stopped. Something happened, you got distracted, and you stopped. And maybe the first time you stopped, it felt off, because you know you have a goal, and you just tell yourself, okay, I'll start again tomorrow, I'll start again tomorrow, and then tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into next month, and next month turns into an entire year has passed, and now you're sitting down going through your journal and thinking, what happened? Why have I not started this yet? And this is exactly how I felt when it came to my YouTube channel. I always wanted to have that kind of creative outlet, because I'm a very creative person. I love art, I love dance, I love song, I love music. and I love film and television, I love modeling, and I have dibbled and dabbled in all of these things, but YouTube was always something that I wanted to get into because it felt like the only space that I really run what it is I get to do. Whatever this channel becomes, it's going to be because I have curated a space in where I'm doing that. So right now I'm sitting, I'm talking to you guys, I'm speaking about life, I'm speaking about goals and elevating and leveling up and becoming the highest version of yourself, because that's what I truly believe in, and that's what I tell myself every day. The reason why I always look to improve and read all of these books about increasing within your financial goals and becoming healthy and all of these things is because I truly and truly want to be the best version of myself, and I want the persons around me to be the best versions of themselves as well. And I truly feel like YouTube is the best place that I could reach a larger audience of persons, and I could build some sort of community in which we're all looking to just improve upon ourselves and have the version of ourselves that we will possess in the next year, in the next 3 years, in the next five years. Have that version be completely different from our starting version, and for us to be amazed, for us to be wowed, completely wowed by that version. And that's something I just really truly believe in, and that's something I'm passionate about. And I thought, why not create something in which I could actively speak about the things that truly bring me joy. And that's why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. But even with YouTube, I would have a plan of everything that I need to do. I would know exactly how many times a day I want to post, how many times a week I want to post, whatever it may be. And then I will start, and then something would happen, and then I stop. And this has happened so many times that I'm actually at the point where I am tired of my own shit. I'm tired of starting and stopping. I'm tired of saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then not doing anything about it. I'm tired of just hearing myself talk about my goals, knowing that they are fully attainable to me, and not make any moves towards that goal. And I'm not gonna pretend that life doesn't happen and things don't occur that cause us to just lose focus for a few moments. Like I went through a lot at the beginning of the year, well, more so at the ending of last year, in where I had no idea where it is I was gonna sleep the next day. Like it was a crazy time for me. And at that time, doing YouTube just wasn't a priority to me. Content creation just wasn't a priority to me. But now that I have the opportunity to be a little bit more stable, to have persons around me that have encouraged me and that have held me up and that have helped me, now that I have the luxury of creating a really good routine for myself, I now have no excuse to not pursue the creative endeavors that I know will take off and that will take me far. I know that when it comes to things like this, it's only a matter of my work ethic and time. And the reason why I say this is because if it is you don't have a good work ethic, if it is you are wanting to half-ass your goals, time will pass anyway, yes, but you'll find that when that time has passed, you will have nothing to show for the time that has passed. I want that when I look back on the choices that I make within 2025, that I am proud of those choices, that I say, yes, I wanted to do this and I actually did it, and I didn't half-ass it. I was consistent with it. I was posting often. I was brainstorming ideas often. I was working on myself at the same time. I was journaling, I was meditating, I was exercising, and just really trying to focus on elevating my mindset, my physical health, my spiritual health, my health within my relationships. These are the things that I want to look back and see. And sometimes it feels, in the midst of that process, it feels as though things are not moving fast enough. It feels as though you're putting in all of these efforts, but you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. And when that happens, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to want to pull back. It's easy to want to stop. But something that I've always reminded myself, and I've always reminded others around me, and something that I'm going to remind you of, is that the time is going to pass anyway. The time is going to pass regardless of whether you do the thing or not. And yes, you may feel discouraged. Yes, you may feel like nothing is happening. But think of it as, when it is you're trying to lose weight, right? Have you ever seen what it looks like inside of a fat cell when someone is actively trying to lose weight? First, it starts off as a fat cell, and then the fat in that cell begins to break down and be replaced by water. Now, the cell is still there, but the content inside of that cell is slowly changing. It's slowly changing from fat to water. You can think of whatever goal you have as something similar. It's changing from procrastination, laziness, and it's being replaced with discipline and consistency and focus and tunnel vision. You could think about it like that. You've spent all of this time procrastinating. You've spent all of this time being lazy. You've spent all of this time not putting your best foot forward and not putting that effort that you know you have. You've spent all of this time doing the opposite of what it is you want to do. Therefore, when it is you start taking these steps in the direction of where it is you want to be, the same amount of time that you spent procrastinating and being lazy is the same amount of time you have to be willing to dedicate to being focused, to being disciplined, and having that tunnel vision. If the amount of time you have spent investing in whatever endeavor it is you may have is not the same amount of time that you have invested in procrastinating and being lazy, then there's no real comparison, and therefore there's no real reason why you should be complaining that it's not happening fast enough. When it comes to something as simple as the fat cell, and it's so crazy that it's just how the law works, it's just how the universe works, it's just how things are. You must replace something to see a different result. You have to do something different to see a different result. But at the foundation of it all, you have to do something. Regardless of whether you're procrastinating or being disciplined, you are still doing something. You are still making an active decision and choice to do what it is you're finding yourself doing. And time would reflect the results that you have accumulated from what you have done. So when it comes to looking at a fat cell, slowly, the fat is replaced by water until the entire cell is filled with water. And when the entire cell is filled with water, whilst you're still being consistent but still thinking, I'm not losing weight, whilst you're still being consistent, your fat cells are just being filled with water. And if you keep pushing, soon those cells disintegrate. And you see the result from the work that you have been putting in. It's the same way with your goals. It's the same thing that I'm going to take into consideration when it comes to my YouTube channel. It's the same way that I'm going to take that same thing into consideration when it comes to self-improvement and self-discipline. You must replace the old habits with the new ones. It's difficult to cut out a bad habit. It's difficult to cut out any old habit when you have not found an equal or more exciting replacement for the old habit that you have acquired. I bring back the topic to weight loss and stuff because I recently entered a weight loss journey where I was able to lose the amount of weight that I wanted to. So it's still fresh in my mind. But if it is every day you are accustomed to, after work I'm gonna get a burger, after work I'm gonna get KFC, after work I'm gonna get something that's oily, something that's greasy, because I know that after work I'm gonna be hungry. Now is the time to think, okay, I no longer want to just buy all of this junk food. I'm not gonna do that. But it's going to be more difficult if you just tell yourself, I'm not gonna buy junk food after work. Okay? I'm gonna go straight home. But what are you going to do when it is you get home? Are you just going to not eat? That doesn't make any sense. And if that's the path that you try to take, you're going to find yourself in a position where you will fall right back into those habits, because the journey does not seem worth it to you. So now that you know that after work you are really, really hungry, instead of getting something that's greasy and oversaturated with fats and stuff, think about what is the one healthy food that you actually enjoy. How can you intake less calories into your meals but still enjoy it? And that's when you come up with, okay, let me look at recipes. Ooh, this looks good. Let me try it. And you try it and you find that the flavor and everything that's coming at you makes you forget that this is even a replacement healthy meal. It just seems natural to you, and soon it will become your normal. It is the same thing with your goals. It is the same thing with your lifestyle. It is the same thing with whatever creative journey that you're about to take. It's okay to feel like nothing is happening. It's okay to feel stagnant. It's not okay to give up on yourself and stop halfway. Because I see it as all of this time that I have wasted not doing the things that I know that I find joy in. I now see that as I probably robbed myself of the self-validation that I could have received earlier. Now that I'm building up that trust with myself that anything I say I'm going to do, I'm going to complete, it feels better. I feel better. I feel more confident. I feel as like I could conquer anything I set my mind to, because I am now building that trust within myself that if I start something, I'm going to be consistent and I'm going to see it through, regardless of whether I'm seeing that result or not. And the beautiful thing about this is that when the results start coming in, you are ecstatic that you did not stop. It's going to take some time, but time passes anyway. So whilst you're waiting for that time to pass, stick to your plan. And that's just what I wanted to share with you guys today, and I hope this video was helpful for you.